All right, so we are adding item 601, a presentation at Council's request from Paulie Byrne, who is the leader of a cross-Canada tour. I'm 1 in 5. So can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor? None opposed. That's carried. Can I have a motion to adopt the minutes listed?
Seconded.
Questions, comments? All in favor? None opposed? That's carried. All right. I am so grateful that you took the time on such short notice to come here. So I'd like to call up Mr. Paulie Byrne, who is doing something really amazing. So he's going to speak to us about that tonight. And it's very much in line with some of the things we're dealing with as a community. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that you guys asked me to come here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got to this lovely city of Maple Ridge. I grew up in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I played hockey my whole life. My dad was in the military. My mom was a teacher, and pretty normal life. It was a military house, so it was strict, and it was a good home. It was a really good home. I have no complaints about my childhood or my teenage years. I broke my leg when I was 19, and that was the end of my hockey career. I don't think I was really going anywhere, but possibly I could play for the Canucks, maybe. And so I went to college for coaching. I went and got my coach's certificates at a place called Lambton College in Sarnia, Ontario, and I completed that, and I became a certified hockey coach at the age of 20, which is it was a huge goal of mine to do that as early as possible. And my first job out of college was in a community called Delhi, Ontario, and I went for an interview with the president of the Minor Hockey Association there, and later that evening he locked me in my apartment and sexually abused me for 45 minutes. And it changed my life forever, and I didn't know how to deal with what was going on inside my body. I didn't want to tell anyone. I eventually called the police, and he was charged, and he only got 3 months house arrest. And that I think was a big part of the hurting that I dealt with. I didn't feel that I got any justice. I was violated pretty bad, and I didn't know how to deal with that at all. My parents taught me how to put a hockey puck in a net and an A on a paper, and how to pay bills, but they didn't tell me how to deal with sexual abuse, for sure. So instantly I got into self-harm. I started burning myself, and it got pretty severe over the last 10 years now, and I got into addiction. I got really hard into addiction, and I got to a point where I was using crystal meth and cocaine every single day just to get rid of this pain that was inside of me, and I didn't want to let my friends know what happened. I thought that they would think I was weak, or that I couldn't fight this person off, and I did what I could, and I tell that to people lots, that I did what I could. And so the addiction path led me to places that I didn't even know existed. I had no idea that I could get so deep into addiction. And when I was playing hockey, I was 196 pounds, and when I walked into my first detox center, I was 96 pounds, and I had no teeth, and I was a hurting unit, and I still didn't want to let people know. And I thought that if I didn't let people know and I just addressed my addiction, that things would get better, and it didn't. So I've been to 6 detox centers and 7 treatment centers, and it took me to a path where I ended up living in my car. I lived in a 92 Honda Civic in a parking garage, and I was comfortable there. I thought that's all I deserved, and I know now that I deserve a lot more than to just live in a car, and that I didn't choose to be homeless. I chose what my brain told me that I deserved, and I think that happens a lot in Canada. That our homeless population in Canada is not good. Do you know what I mean? And it's a sad reality that we have to face. That I think trauma or something deep rooted is a lot more than just being homeless or just being a drug addict. I didn't wake up and say I'm going to put a needle in my arm. I woke up and said I need to get rid of this pain, and I don't know how. I drank a lot. I drank to get sleep because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't shut my nightmares off. I live with post-traumatic stress syndrome, and I live with social anxiety and depression, and I don't suffer from that stuff anymore. And 17 months ago, I walked into an addiction services center in London, Ontario, and I told them that I was suicidal and that I didn't want to live anymore because I couldn't. This was a court battle of 8 years with this guy who molested me, and I couldn't deal with it anymore. And I was drinking almost a case of beer a day, and my body was shutting down. I got pancreatitis, and my esophagus lining was deteriorating. And this counselor, this was 65 counselors that I went to, and I don't think any kid should have to go to 65 counselors, but I thank God that I kept going back and I didn't fall down like this time. Do you know what I mean? And this counselor, I still have her today, and she said, how can we help you out? And I just said, I need someone to believe me. And the only person that believed me was the police. And my parents didn't believe me. My fiance didn't believe me. The police believed me, and that was it. So I walked in there and I said, I just need someone to believe me. And I haven't felt the urge to take a drink since. So I'm 17 months clean and sober, and my life's never been better. And I want to let it. I don't want to let this destroy me. And I think that I have two options in this. That I can let what happened to me destroy me, and I can let it kill me ultimately at a young age, or I can let it build me into something that hopefully I can put out to the world, that you can go through pain and you can get strength from that. It's okay to be not okay. It really is, and it's okay to speak out, and it's okay to say I'm hurting, and it's okay even if you're a man, and I grew up in the man up house and soldier up boy. It's all right to say that I'm not okay and that I need to reach out for help. And I think that's not a gender issue. I think that's a human issue. And I've spoken for quite a few people in the last year, and I'm really humbled at the chance that I get the opportunity to breathe every day, let alone speak in front of groups like this. And it's a struggle. It's for sure a struggle every day. I don't like talking about my sexual abuse. There's nothing fun about it. But I know that maybe someone in this room tonight might hear something, and they might go home and tell someone, and they might tell someone who's been sexually abused, and that person may not have to feel so alone. And that's the whole key to this. Is I don't want hockey players to hate hockey. I don't want ballerinas to hate ballet. I don't want Boy Scouts to hate Boy Scouts. I want kids to be kids. And I grew up in a good home, and I want that to happen. And I think education is a big thing, and awareness is a big thing. This stuff happens every single day. Sexual abuse happens to 1 in 5 males. It's not 1 in 5 males underneath the bridge. It's 1 in 5 males as Canadians. That's 8 million Canadians. And in my hometown, there's no programming for male sexual abuse survivors. And that's got to change throughout Canada. We're actually working with through this 1 in 5 tour, we're going to try to raise $1 million. And in BC, we're going to give it to a child advocacy center called Sophie's Place. We're going to try to give half of that money away to existing organizations. And so in BC, we're going to give it to Sophie's Place, the child advocacy center here, because we believe that they have the same vision, mission, and values as us. And we're going to do that across the country and just try to inspire a new generation to speak out about this and to start a conversation, to keep the conversation going. And that's really the ultimate goal. If we raise $1 million, that's great. But if we raise $2, that's also great. It's not about the money. It's about someone waking up tomorrow and saying, I'm not alone. And that's the ultimate, right? Is I woke up one day and I said, I'm not alone anymore. And things are going to get better. And it didn't happen overnight. And it's been a struggle. Today's day 5 of me walking across Canada. Yesterday I fell and I had to go to the emergency room, so I can't walk for a week. I've done something to my knee pretty bad. And really, it's just a bump in the road. And I have to look at the positive in it. And I get a cool little motto that I think about, and I had to think about it last night because I was struggling, that even a dead clock is right twice a day. And so I have to think of positives in every negative, right? And so I live with strength from pain every day, and I'm grateful to breathe. I'm really grateful for breath, because if I can't breathe, I can't be a productive member of society, and I took from society for a long time. And I owe a great debt to the people that came before me and blazed this trail, because I certainly wouldn't be here without them. Theo Fleury helped me out big time, and I wouldn't be here without that guy. And support is huge in this stuff. And if anyone ever comes up to you and says that they've been sexually abused, I just ask that you say that you believe them. And because that's going to go miles. That's really going to go miles. Or if someone says that they're hurting with addiction or mental health, just say that you believe them. And that really will go miles. I know for me, this whole story isn't about my story anymore. It's about us 8 million Canadians that suffer from this stuff, and we don't have to suffer. I'm going to have depression for the rest of my life, but I'm going to live with it. I'm not going to suffer from it anymore, and I think that's a big difference. And I really thank you guys for having me tonight. This is a really cool experience for me. I've never been in a city hall before, and I thought maybe I'd be in a city hall to get married, but that'd be about it. You have a beautiful province here, and I thank you so much for getting a hold of me, because I've really had a great time tonight. And great. Thank you so much.
We are really filled with gratitude that you could actually take the time to come here, and I think we believe you. Yeah. And I hope that this moment gives you courage for the next moment. So it's really an honor to be able to meet you and have you stop here on what is going to, I think, be a really amazing journey in your life.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paulie. I happened to see the article in the newspaper yesterday and got in touch with Paulie, and we're so thankful that you came. As all communities are, we're wrestling with these issues, and you've really helped us tonight, and we wish you every success. You're already a success. You've helped this community tonight, and we appreciate it very much. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Spears?
Yeah, thank you. And it's kind of fitting you're here. I've always considered this the community's living room. And that conversation should be happening in every living room. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.